Hey guys, so in this video we're going to look at how to actually define a matrix. So when you first start looking at matrices, everyone's going to be thinking of The Matrix with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I still think to today. Whenever I see The Matrix or Matrices, I always think of The Matrix, the movie. You can't help it, but we got to get our heads around the idea that these matrices are things that we use in mathematics to make our lives easier. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define a matrix around the number of siblings that myself and my friends Ray and Tim have. So I have two brothers. My friend Ray has one brother and two sisters, and my friend Tim has a hell of a lot of brothers. He's got 6 brothers, and we want to look at writing this information out into a matrix. So if we wanted to find this matrix, we can define it using rows and columns. So for those of you who haven't seen a matrix before, it kind of looks a little something like this. You know, you've got these two large brackets, and then you might have a number here, here, 4, 5, and 6, and you have these numbers. So if you don't know what the numbers mean, it's very difficult to actually get any value out of what the matrix is telling you. But once you've constructed a matrix, they're actually quite handy. So if we start by drawing, say, a set of these brackets, and we know that we've got myself, so we got me, we've got Ray, and then we've got Tim. And then we know we're looking at the amount of brothers we have, so I'll put brothers up here, bro, and sisters over here, sis. So if we're looking and we're trying to construct a matrix about the number of brothers and sisters that myself, Ray, and Tim have, then we can start to just put this data into this matrix over here. So we know for myself, I have 2 brothers, but I have no sisters. So we're getting this 2 and 0. Ray has 1 brother and 2 sisters. So we'd write that kind of down here. We'd say Ray has 1 brother, and then he's going to have 2 sisters. Tim has 6 brothers, but he has no sisters. So if we're kind of looking at this, we can see that I can just get the information straight out of the matrix. So if I want, I can say, how many sisters does Ray have? I look at the matrix. Ray has 2 sisters. It's right there in that column here. So when we draw this matrix, we would tend to not give it these titles here. We would just leave it as it is there. And we would also give it a name. So we might call this the matrix of siblings. So we would say this matrix of siblings, I'll call it SIB, is equal to 2, 0, 1, 2, and 6 and 0. That way, if we want to actually get any information out of it, so I were to say how many brothers does Ray have, we could just say Ray, know he's going to be down here, and he's got this 1 brother. We also give this matrix what we call an order. So the matrix, it displays this information, and we say it has an order. So when we're talking about matrix order, it becomes very important later on for addition and the multiplication of matrices. So multiplication of matrices. So it's very important that we define our matrix properly and that we're able to identify what order our matrix is of. So the way I always remember this is RC. So we're defining our matrix based on the number of rows it has by the number of columns. So I always remember RC, and the matrix is of the order rows by columns. So if we're looking at this matrix here, we can say it is of order RC, just remember RC, and we can say this matrix has 1, 2, 3 rows. So rows are the things which go across here. So if we were to read from right to left, these would be our rows. So this matrix has 3 rows, and the number of columns it has, columns go down this way. So columns go from the top to the bottom. It's going to have 1, 2 columns. So this matrix has 3 rows and 2 columns. If we remember this RC, this is what we call a 3 by 2 matrix that displays the information about the siblings that myself, Ray, and Tim have. So that's how we define a matrix. The most important thing that you guys know is this ordering here. Make sure you get it in your head that whenever you have a matrix, you define it as rows by columns, RC, and you will be absolutely fine when we come to add and multiply matrices. But at the minute, let's just practice defining them with this R by C. So I will put out some examples on how to identify matrices, and then we'll do some addition and multiplication. Thanks, guys.